Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is well. I just want to reach out to people because I talked about it the other day, but we're getting ready to have a live about it today. Usually I would play music, but I couldn't even find some type of music to even put here today to even like relax this situation because it's not a relaxed situation. This story to me that we're getting ready to talk about is about a young lady named Miss Foley. Her mother is getting ready to appear on this show to allow us to know what happened to her daughter. But at the same time, I want to allow you guys to know a lot of what you get ready to hear, it's going to be the first time that I am hearing it as well. So I have to pay attention and I'm not going to be able to look at the comment box because I do know as well that this will be hard for the mother of this young lady. I'm not sure if my girl Geneva is going to join me today because she got a lot going on, but she still, I'm holding down because I'm on her page too. That's what we do. And I have to say that she reached out to both of us, me and Geneva. So to just to even feel like she could reach out to me or Geneva about her daughter's story, that was very personal to me because at the end of the day, I am a civil rights activist and I have to stand for my people and allow people to know what was going on. And when I first heard about the story, I had so much going on. But I think when things happen, God do it in his own time. And I was able to reach out to her and we're able to do this to the day. If one person can hear her story, if one person can change something, if we can allow our voices to be heard for Miss Foley and her daughter, that would be very well to me as far as trying to make a difference and trying to make a change because that's what we're all trying to do. And as you hear this story, I want people to put their self in her situation. That's what made me become the civil rights activist that I am. Because I would listen to a case and I would put myself, what if that was me? So we have to like have a lending ear, and maybe if you have comments or something, you can leave them out or address them later. But I really want to focus on what this woman is saying about her daughter because she lost her a year ago. And this year on the 25th, will be a year that she has passed away, and they're going to Georgia now to get answers from the district attorney. I may be able to do a live so we can see what's going on, to hear what's going on, because when you keep things behind a closed door, nothing gets done. When you make your voice be heard and you stand for what you believe in, one voice can make a difference and one voice can surely make a change. So to further ado, this is Miss Foley coming on. I'm gonna let her pronounce her daughter's name because y'all know I'm a little country, and I did not want to pronounce her daughter name wrong. I will be asking her questions, but I'm also gonna let her tell her truth. To me, this is like victims coming to tell their truth, and there's a lot of victims in the world that need their truth told. And if we can have a platform to let that be done, then let this platform be one of them. Okay, so you guys, I'm getting ready to add her in right now, and I love y'all saying justice for her. Can you hear me, Miss Jacqueline?
Yes, I can.
Oh, first of all, you are beautiful. Come over a little bit so I can see that pretty face. Yes, beautiful. You are
Hello.
beautiful. First, can you pronounce your daughter's name for me?
Yes, my daughter name is Carlether Foley.
Carlethia Foley. You guys
Yes.
say her name. We need justice for Carlethia Foley. I'm not sure in the background, Miss Jacqueline, if you heard some of what I said, but let's kind
Yes.
of start from the beginning so we'll know to get a paint a picture of this story. So first of all, where are y'all originally from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Born and raised?
Born and raised in Houston, Texas.
Okay, so from Houston, Texas, you guys, where the situation happened, it happened in Georgia. So were you in Georgia at the time when things transpired, or how did your daughter get to Georgia?
No, I was not in Georgia. Of course, I stay in Houston, Texas. Kalitha went to Georgia to pursue her dream to be an actress. So she was there when she was killed.
Okay, so I know this is going to be hard for you. So she went to Georgia to pursue her acting. So I take it was taking off some because I did some research on her. So let's go up to the day before it happened? Because I think you said the day before it happened was your birthday.
No.
Okay, what?
No, the day before that was my birthday. I talked to her that the day before because my sister was in the hospital, and we
Okay.
talked to her that morning. And then when I went to call her the next morning, she didn't answer.
Okay.
And it's never been the case that Carlether wouldn't call me back within like 30 minutes. So she
Okay.
didn't call me back. So a little of that is kind of like weighing on me because as a parent, you know your child, and if your child don't call you back and you done called her and that's not normal. To me, I just felt like I should have called my grandson and said, hey, go check on your mom because she's not answering what's going on. And I didn't.
So the day that you called, was that the day? Because I want you to tell people like how she passed away. So because I
Okay,
don't know.
so September the 25th, I received a phone call at 10:23 at night from my grandson. His name is Keyandre Benjamin. We call him Fat Fat. Everyone that knows me know that I'm in bed by 8:30. So when I received the call, my grandson said to me, Mimi, Mimi. I said, give a CPR, give a CPR. Where's my child? Dial 911. Keyandre, what is wrong? We getting a plane. We getting a plane. So I have two phones. So I was talking to him on one phone and I called my niece Tiffany. I said, hey, something that happened to Carlether. Something that happened to Carlether. Get us a plane to Georgia. Get us a plane to Georgia. And I said to her, I gotta call you back. I gotta call you back. I said, Keyandre, call the police. Give a CPR. He just kept saying, Mimi, Mimi. So I hung up from him and I called my son. His name is George Foley. Of course, I call him Shawnee. And I said, Shawnee, something has happened to your sister. I don't know what's going on. Something has happened to your sister. He said, Mama, what? I said, I don't know. Shawnee, get here quick. The next thing I know, I heard bam at the front door. I ran to the front door. My son was down on the ground. I was getting him up. He said, Mama, Carlether dead. I said, no, 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 no. And I ran to the car. And my grandson said, yeah, Mimi, 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 Mimi. And I just went out. The relatives came over. We wasn't able to get a plane that night, but we got it at 6:00 that morning. So my son did an all call on Facebook asking, hey, something has happened to Carlether. Is anybody in Atlanta? And two of my little cousins was there. They're twins. Kiara and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna tell you that baby name in a minute. But they were there. They rushed over to where Keyandre was. So they didn't let me talk to him. So that morning at 6:00, we got to the airport. We was on our way there. They met us. One of them met us, which is Kiara, met us at the airport. And I just was like, what happened, baby? What happened? And she was just shaking her head at me. So never knew exactly what happened. I got to my grandchild. He hugged me. He said, Mimi, Mimi. I had been going through that all day. I said, well, what do you mean? So not getting the right understanding from anyone at that time. And then Kiara pulled me over and she talked to me. She told me what happened again. The neighbor said that he was cleaning his gun at 1:00 in the morning and shot through the wall. Okay, that's what we knew then. So we get to the hotel. Of course, my son would not let me go, and his father, they would not let me go until they went to Carlether's apartment. So I want to say this because people should know who we're dealing with. I don't care if you don't know someone, you should always have empathy for the next person when they lose their child. A mother that loses their child don't know what to do. She feels hopeless. She feels sick. I couldn't control myself. A lot of things has gone through my head since then. That's why I'm kind of waiting a little bit, trying to stable myself back. When we arrived there, my son and his father went to go clean up. I still am like, you know how you talking to somebody and you hear what they're saying, but you're not, no, this couldn't have happened. So we went to the apartment complex, which was McDonald Farm, 3355 McDonald Farm. When we arrived there, we went into the office. The manager there on September the 25th, I asked to speak to him. We asked to speak to him. And this man was so rude. He was so ugly. He said to me, he didn't know nothing about nobody had got killed on his property. And he was not going to let me in her apartment to retrieve her things. Trying to stay focused and trying not to put no more pressure on my grandson to ask him more questions. At the end of the day, my grandson said he had went out to a game or something. He was in there talking to his mom. Carlether was not answering him. So he goes in the room to find out what's going on, why she's not answering. That's when he pulled the cover off of her and realized that it was blood and she had been shot, and he took out running. This is what he told me. He went to go call the police, call for help. This is what I found out. The neighbor, I was told later on when they got there and investigated, that the neighbor was not even at home, but he's supposed to have come and left a note on the door saying that he shot through the wall by accident and that he was trying to go to the army. Don't call the police. He would pay for the charges. So when I questioned my grandson about this, my grandson said, Mimi, I had been to that house twice. It was no note on any door. But I was told that this young man shot through the wall. Supposed to have went and knocked on the door, but yet he rendered aid when nobody came to the door when he knocked on the door. This young man put on his clothes, went to work, came back from work, put on his clothes, and began to drive out of town to a wedding. They had to go to the office, get the emergency keys. That's how they found out that he had shot through the wall. So they called him and told him to come back because he had injured someone. He didn't render aid, but he said this was an accident. This is me. If I shoot through someone's wall and nobody come to the door and I knock, I'm going to dial 911. First of all, I'm going to dial 911 in the beginning because I have shot through somebody's wall and I don't know if I have hurt someone. Now, if this young man would have done this, I would have said, okay, this might have been an accident. But for him not to render aid to my child, for him not to care about my child, that was my baby. I talked to Carlether, Miss ESSIE, 3 weeks before that. Carlether and I had a long conversation. I said to my daughter, I said, Carlether, if anything happened to you, baby, you are too far away for us to be able to get to you. You know what my daughter told me? Mama, why are you worried about that? I'm going to live a long time. That's what she told me. Ain't nothing going to happen to me. 3 weeks later, my baby dead. I talked to my daughter the day before, like I said, because my sister was in the hospital sick. And look where I am now. I have called people. My son called people. We didn't receive any calls. The first person that came out to meet us, Miss ESSIE, let's get back on this. Her name was Detective Carter. She said she assured me, my son, and my grandson. She told us what happened. She said this young man was saying some ugly things about my daughter, and I don't even know why this young man would be saying anything about my daughter because my grandson told me that he had never saw this man before in his life. So she said that she told him, so you just let that lady find her 17-year-old son, find her like that. And he started saying some ugly things, and she said she stopped him.
Detective Carter stopped him.
I don't believe anything that's being said at this point.
Okay, can I ask you a few questions? May I ask a
yes.
question? Okay, so Detective Carter was the one who spoke to the young man that did the shooting.
Yes.
Do you know what type of gun was in the shooting?
No. This is another thing, Miss ESSIE. Every time I asked any information, when I called down there to get information about what had happened, there was nothing available in public records. They kept telling me that the police had not given them the information yet. The only way that I'll have been able to receive some information is because I went on a Philly Field show. I have a couple of little cousins, Tamanisha and Alicia, have also her friend Aneta has been pushing to get stuff to public records. They paid for this stuff because it was supposed to be in public records. They went there, they returned their money because nothing was there. So and every time I call to get information, what's going on with my daughter's case, anything, I was getting nothing up until I went on a Philly Field show. I would call Miss Essie. I called and left messages for lawyers. No one would return my call. Miss Essie, when I said I called a couple of people. I want to file a civil suit. They said, what is that going to do? He's only 22 years old. He don't have any money to pay you. I don't care about money. I want him to be served and go to jail for what he done to my daughter. This is not about money. This is about justice for Carlether. Because my daughter was doing so well. Miss Essie, she went out there to Atlanta, Miss Essie, in her car with nowhere to stay with just her clothes. My daughter was doing well. She was in a couple of background things with Tyler Perry. She's all on prime time. Miss Essie, she was doing well. The last time I saw my daughter was August the 31st. She came August the 30th for her brother's birthday party. And for me to know and understand August the 31st and it just passed again, that's why I'm kind of like rambling, going back and forth, because August the 31st just passed, and that was the last time that I saw my child alive. That was the last time I heard her voice. And now I have to go on YouTube and all these places just to hear my baby's voice so I can remember what she sounds like. This is not about hurting anyone. It is about justice. It is about, if you have a gun, if you don't know how to use a gun, I am asking each and every one of y'all, go get some training. You don't know what hell I am going through. I have lost my only daughter. I have problems eating. I don't sleep. My grandson is going through. He don't want to talk about nothing, and I understand. About a month ago, he said, Mimi, I understand now. My mother is not coming back. To hear my grandson say that, to be in the room crying in silence because I don't want my grandchild to hear me. Not eating because I keep telling Carlether, I don't care what it takes. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to keep fighting for you. I will get justice for you, Carlether. I will stand. I will move, and I will stand strong for my child. This goes to anyone that has lost a parent. I know the way you are feeling because I feel it. And it's a killing feeling. It's like a part of you is gone. My baby. My baby. The one that would call me, Mama, what you doing? I would tell her, she would always, what you doing that for? My child. You killed my child. You had no right to take my baby from me. I asked. My child came to me in a dream. People don't believe in dreams. I believe in God. I'm a strong believer of God. I have an apostle. Her name is Apostle Esther Goree. Okay? That is my apostle. When I asked the Lord, why did this happen to my baby? I don't understand what is going on. I have been in church since I was 5 years old. I have stood strong. My daughter came to me in a dream and she said, Mama, he tried to talk to me and I turned him down. That is what she told me. I asked God, why did this happen to my baby? He let me hear exactly what that young man said. I heard his voice and I don't even know that young man. This was about color. This was about color. This young man knew exactly what he was doing. When I got to my daughter's house, my son had moved the bed so I could see. The bullet hole was straight. It was not diagonal. It was not moved. It was straight. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Okay, so
Maxwell Williamson, you will not rest until you are in jail, because I feel like you will do this to someone else's child.
say his
Because
name again.
you don't know when people say no, no means no, and that you can be told no. Young people have a problem with people telling them no, but I will get justice for Carlether. I will not shut up until I get justice for Carlether Foley. No one had a right to take my child from me. God gave her to me. That was my baby. She's still my baby.
Would you say his name again?
Ma'am.
So would you say his name again?
Maxwell Williamson is his name.
Now
I will never forget your face. I will never forget your voice that the Lord let me hear in my ear. Never.
Can you tell me what part of Georgia this was in?
Duluth, Georgia. Carlether stayed at 3355 McDaniels Road. The whole time we were there, I only saw one person of color. Two people of color, I'm sorry.
Really?
My daughter wanted something better out of life. She always wanted to be an actor. She was on her way. Carlether was a go-getter. It is nothing that you try to tell Carlether that Carlether said that she was going to do that Carlether didn't go try it and do it. That was Carlether. That was my daughter.
Can you tell
Anytime she told me she was going to do something, she done it.
Can you tell me the name of the prosecutor, the district attorney that's on this case? Do you know their name?
Oh my God. Daniel Peach. I had a conversation with Mr. Peach.
On the 25th, you're supposed to be going from Texas to Georgia. Is that who you're going to be talking to, Mr. Peach?
No, ma'am. I will be arriving there September the 22nd. I will be talking to Miss Patsy. I don't know Miss Patsy last name, but she is over Mr. Daniel Peach.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And Daniel Peach is the district attorney?
Yes, he is. Yes.
So do you know what this meeting is going to be pertaining to on the 25th?
It is supposed to be pertaining the charges that they will move forward, telling me what they can and what they cannot do.
Would you be against, when you go there talking to Miss Patsy, would you be against us being live? Because if she ain't got nothing to hide and she's going to do right by your daughter, then why would she care if you be live or not? Would that be a problem? Could we find that out?
It wouldn't be a problem if she lets us, if she says there's a problem, then we will move forward with not being it. But I have some nieces there that would make sure that they take complete notes. That is the reason why they are going. They have been fighting for Carlether since this has happened, and they will be arriving there with me. Okay,
but you don't have an attorney on this case, correct?
I do not.
Okay, so we're going to talk about it later, but behind closed doors, you're going to tell them that you have a civil rights activist that's going to be on the phone with you? Because I want to
that will be no problem. Yes, ma'am.
That's right. If that's a problem, then I'll go after Patsy, because that would be an issue to me. Okay. So the guy, Maxwell, is that his name?
Maxwell Williamson is his name.
Did your daughter ever have? She never talked to this guy. She never been in her apartment. Hey, do you know if they had ever had any type of affiliation at all? Because for him to go and talk to this lady so bad about your daughter, what gave him the right? And let me speak before I'm gonna tell you guys something right off. My first mind said, when I heard the story, the boy's 22 years old. He thought he didn't do anything. I know this white boy, excuse me, it's not racist, it's being real. He's related to someone in that town. He's related to someone in that county. That's why he's not in jail, because he's not in jail right now. Am I right, Miss Jacqueline?
He is not in jail. He was let out on a $3,500 bond.
$3,500?
$3,500 for killing my child. They let him out after my daughter's funeral.
What was his charges? Do you know? What did they charge him with?
Involuntary manslaughter and negligence.
Certain questions, like I'm not going to do it on this mic, but certain questions before you go on the 25th, we're going to make sure that you ask those questions. I'm going to be a listening ear. If I see something shiesty, I'm going to say what it is. But because of the thing to me right now is you spoke about them saying something about there will be a new law. Is the new law to protect your daughter? Is it a new law to protect this criminal?
To me, it is a new law to protect this criminal. This is what I was told. I was told that they were sorry to say this, but one of the men said this to me, Mr. Maine, is that Miss Foley is sorry to say, but he has more rights than your daughter.
He has more white or rights?
Rights. More rights, R-I-G-H-T, than my daughter, Carlether Foley, which was killed.
And what did they say what his rights were?
No, they did not. All I know is that their laws has changed, and this was one of the laws that changed.
Did they give you a penal code for the law that had changed?
No, they did not. That is what when we go down there on the 22nd, that's what they will talk to us about. And as I said to them, I want to come down there because y'all need to talk to my grandson. You need to talk to my son. You need to talk to me to tell me what you're going to do about my child being killed in Duluth. And he's walking around free to live his life. And my daughter is no longer here.
Okay, right. You guys, this is a lot to intake as a person. So I know y'all intaking it too. So you can imagine what Miss Jacqueline went through. I got to go back because I just see lies all the way through as far as what these people have did to her daughter. And when you get through, like, share, subscribe. When I say like and share for justice for Carlether, for Miss Foley, to let them know that we don't want someone else to be able to do what they have done. So I need to go back, Miss Foley, a little bit.
Okay.
We talked about a note. Because when we say they, who, I want to start, because I'm writing things as you go, and then I'm going to redirect it later. The note. Who told you about the note that was put on your daughter's door? Who has that note?
Detective Carter. Detective Carter said, C-A-R-T-E-R, said that there was a note left on the door and they have it on the webcam. And I said to her, how could that be? Because my grandson said he had been there 3 times and there was no note on the door. Now, this is what my grandson did tell me. A week before that my daughter was killed, there was a blank sheet of paper left on the door. He took it in there and showed it to his mama, said, Mama, what is this? He said she looked at both sides of it. It was nothing on it. She said, I don't know, son. And she threw it in the trash.
So is Detective Carter, is she still with this police department now? Do you know?
Yes, she is. We also had a conversation about her when I had the conference with Daniel Peach and Mr. Maine and Miss Sarah Gorner about her. She said that she would keep in contact with us no matter what. She would keep us informed no matter what. And not one time she returned my son's call one time. But after the conference with these 3 people, then 30 minutes later, I received a telephone call from her. And she said to me, what did I want her to do? What could she have said to me what would make me different? I said to her, Detective Carter, I am only going by what you said to me, my son, my grandson, and their father, is that you would keep up with us no matter what, letting us know what would be going on the case, and you have not.
So, did you ever see a police report?
I have never saw a police report. Once again, the police report is the one that I called to get, and it was never there. Never available.
So that means that there's still an open case on this whole situation.
I was told that the case is still open and they didn't have to present it because it's still open.
I have to ask this just out of curiosity, because this case was in Georgia, I don't feel like it got the traction that it should have. And this is your daughter, which as Black women, Black people, we don't get the same traction that we should get when something else. Because if this had been a Black person and they shot a white person, you better believe right now they would be in prison or in jail, and they still be waiting trial right now. The law that they are talking, because that's going to be an issue with Patsy. Because Patsy, I'll ask for your badge, your district attorney, and everything else. Was that law changed before your daughter got shot or after? So they changed the laws after the fact. You can't change the law after the fact. Just to let you know that.
Mr. Maine had said something about this law also, and then she turned around and said something about it. And like I said to both of them, I don't care anything about your law. What I care about is justice for my daughter. And what are you going to charge him with, and to pick him back up before he does this to someone else's child? That's what I care about. So the runaround that I told him that I've been continuously getting, I will not accept anymore from them.
And you should not accept it anymore, because everybody got a boss. And that means we had to go to the governor of Georgia. I would like answers. Our people get shot down or something happens, and they make it like it's a freak accident. So because this white boy felt like he was going to the army, do that give him a pass? Don't come.
That gives him a pass.
That don't give him nothing at this point, because
nothing
now
doesn't give him.
We're making this more aware of what's going on. And if it's my choice on the 25th, I'm going to have this mic on so we can hear it. So if Miss Patsy stuttered, and matter of fact, what I'm going to do better than that, I'm going to send Miss Patsy this interview so you can get prepared for whatever. Because if I think you're trying to cover something up, which it ain't no thinking, it's been a year, and this boy is still walking, he's still walking around, and he's still doing what he needs to be done, and he's not paying attention to anyone but himself, then I find that to be an issue. I do feel like he was related to someone, because that's why they get a free pass. Now, I just have to ask this because I'm a Black woman, and I want to know, because we got all these different organizations that say they about our people. Did you reach out to NAACP or Black Lives Matter or anything like that?
We reached out to the NAACP here in Houston. I called them. They said to me, because it did not happen in Houston, that I needed to call Atlanta. I called Atlanta. Atlanta told me that because he was bonded out, there was nothing that they could do for me. As I said to you before, Tamanisha, Alicia, and Annetta also reached out to Black Lives Matter. I have never received a telephone call or email from any of them.
Well, I am affiliated with them, and when we get through with this interview, I'm going to send it to some party so we can make your daughter life matters. Because at the end of the day, everyone, when I first came on this mic, I said, put yourself in this woman's situation and her position. And I felt her pain, and I understand. I don't know why they feel like this gentleman should get a pass. Another thing I saw someone said, because I was so they wanted to mention, first of all, I want to know what kind of gun it was. Second of all, I want to know why you headed out at 1 o'clock in the morning. Third of all, I want to know why you didn't check the chamber to make sure we'll know chamber, because you're going in the Army.
A bullet in the chamber.
I need to know why you're going to the Army. So I know you had to have some type of training, even if it wasn't
training 101.
Bam.
101, Ms. ESSIE. So hold your gun down, release the bullets out of the chamber before you begin to try to clean your gun. And at this point, you cannot shoot a gun when you're trying to clean it. I'm not understanding that. And this was one of the points that I made to District Man and Miss Patsy. I am not slow of a gun cleaner.
Right.
I went myself. I am a level 4 officer. Okay, and I told him this. This was not an accident. No, I was not there to be able to prove it. We can only go about what we can prove. This was not an accident. He knew exactly what he was doing. Then you wait until your so-called wife, you're supposed to be married, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, shoot through that door, shoot through that window, and take my daughter's life. My daughter was doing TikTok and YouTube out on her patio. She also was out there skating all the time.
So it wasn't in like shooting through a wall. It was like he had to shoot a distance, like to aim to see her. Is that what you're saying?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. ESSIE, her wall is here, his wall is there.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, right.
So he shot straight through the wall. And Ms. ESSIE, straight. My son still has a picture of the bullet hole.
Because y'all got to think
about her father took the headboard because he said that he needed to have the headboard. So the headboard is also here in Houston.
And do you have
I want to say this, Ms. ESSIE, because I need to make sure that I put McDonald Farm Apartments out there. Because what you did to me, what you did to my family was wrong, and you didn't care nothing about us. You didn't care nothing about your tenant. You stood up and you tried to tell me that you didn't know that my daughter was killed on your property, but they had to go to the office to get the emergency keys so the police could go in and see where she had gotten shot at. You are a liar. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And anybody that stay on that property, you better know who you dealing with. If something happened to you, they will not be liable and they will not take responsibility for what is going on their property. And especially not for a Black woman. You better know where you're staying. Yes, we all want better for our lives and better for our children. But at what risk and what will we do that? I'd rather be around my people 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, right here in Houston, where we belong. But my daughter chose something different. I did not want her to go there, Miss ESSIE. I'm going to be honest with you. I was very upset with Carlether about this move. Because I've always been an overprotector of all of my family, not just my kids, my nieces, my nephews, my little cousins, my big cousins, always an overprotector. Know what you need to do that for. Houston is big enough for you to do whatever you need to do. No, mama. Everything is going on there, mama. Mama, I'm going to be okay. What are you worried about? What position I'm in now? Not sleeping at night, not eating.
Can you spell the county that you said she was in, the city, or what's the name of it?
Yes, ma'am. I wrote this down.
I want to make sure I got this because I'm going to check some right quick when you do that. You guys, I felt like this is a case that needed to be heard. And somebody just said it seemed like her life was uncensual. It did. That's exactly what it seemed like. So when things come across our board, you know, if Geneva, like she did so many things through the years talking about different cases like this, and so have I. But if we don't bring it to awareness and keep it going and try to bring us on platforms and let people know how our people are being dealt with, that's an issue to me. That's an issue. And it seemed like to me that I'm still going to go back to he was kin to somebody. I still feel like they did a runaround. I feel like he need to do some type of time because he didn't even do a week in jail. It don't seem like he got out right after her funeral. How insulting was that? You understand? Then don't come tell me you done made up a law after the fact. You can't make up laws after the fact. Now, Miss Jacqueline, you said you was a
Duluth County, Georgia. Yes, ma'am. It's where she was killed at is Duluth, Duluth County, Georgia, 30096. Okay. The exact address was 3555.
And spell the apartment complex. Give me that name of that apartment complex. Because it ain't for Black folks for sure. Just let y'all know that. Come on.
McDaniel, McDaniel.
Okay. And this is in Duluth County as well, correct?
Yes, it's called McDaniel Farm, FARM Apartments, 3355 McDonald Road, Duluth, Georgia, 30096.
And you said when you were there in Duluth, you only seen how many Black people?
2. in that apartment complex as we were getting her things. Miss Essie, we went and got the truck, and I tell you, it took us about 5 hours. It was me, my son, my grandson, and the other guy that was with us. And within 5 hours, we had loaded 2 bedrooms, all of Carlether clothes, a living room, a dining room, a kitchen. All I wanted to do was just get it on the truck and her car. And I drove my grandson's car back here. I just wanted to get out. I just needed to get away. I needed to get it away from there. Because the way we were treated, as if you to sit up and tell me that you didn't know that my daughter was killed on your property over the weekend, and you are the manager there, you let me know exactly who you were. And I thank you. And I'll make sure everyone else know exactly who you are. Because we of color should definitely not be staying in your apartments.
I have to say, I love your integrity. I love your courage. I love that you know what you should be standing for and what has came. I do believe in dreams. I do believe in God will speak to you in other ways. I do believe everything happens for a certain period and a certain time. Because let me tell you guys why. Me and Geneva had talked about this case. But when you do cases like this, it takes something out of you, because I'm very emotional. And when I get into something, I don't know how to just jump back out of it like that, because I'm a civil rights activist. Geneva's an investigator. So that is what we're good at. So my heart reaches out to people. And that's why I became an activist, because I saw so many of my own people being destroyed. And then I had to worry about raising 2 sons. So like I can only sympathize. And I saw someone said that they lost their son in 2021. So on this mic too, we're going to find other mothers that has experienced what Miss Jacqueline has experienced, because I could even imagine, because my heart was pointing out then. But I want to say something, because anytime I move, or if my babies tell me they're going somewhere, or I just see a city or state, I always research the population to see what's in the population of those people. So in the race ethnicity of these people of that particular county, it is 32.5% white, 25% Asian, and 20% black. So pretty much they scattered out everywhere. You can like count us if you see us. So we pretty much stick out like a sore thumb in that county. Yes. That's like she said with 2 apartment. That's what made me look that up, because I was in a place called St. John's, Arizona, and they had 2% black. That was me and my bodyguard. And I always notice that, because when you come in a town like that, 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt, they know every face that ain't of a white race that walks in that place. And why I say that, so I want to know, because you had reached out to Geneva, and Geneva told me about it. We did have a lot going on at the time, but then y'all found me. So I want to know, you found me on the internet, and what was I supposed to do? Not take or call you guys? So to me, God does everything in his divine order. And so we went back and forth for a minute. So when they contacted the second time, because we were still like doing a little bit of research, because we couldn't believe a case like this happened. What made you reach out to us though? What would be that difference? Because you've been on all these platforms already.
Okay, Ms. Essie, let me say this to you. Okay, so when you first came out, I used to watch you. That's when you would always talk about your husband, and how I found out about that is that you started doing that Steve Harvey stuff. I watched Geneva when she first started coming out, and then I had subscribed to both of y'all, and then for some reason or another, I stopped getting alerts. But on the morning that I text my little cousin Alicia and Tam, I was here at work. I was sitting over there. You can't see it over in that corner. Okay. I was talking to God. I was having this long conversation with him. He continues to tell me to stand strong, move forward, get justice for Carlether. I was standing in that corner, and I sit down. Geneva popped up. He said, send her email. So I started trying to send Geneva the email. Then he said, I started looking again and I'm rolling down again. He said, send you an email. Then he turned around. He said, no, call her. So I immediately text Tam and Alicia because I'm at work. I'm on these people, you know. And so I called, get on the phone. I call Alicia. I said, Alicia, God just told me, no, I need to talk to Miss ESSIE, so you need to call her. Next thing I know, Alicia's calling me back with you on the phone and I'm screaming. That's the reason why I called you. Because my father has never lied to me.
Woo.
He is my father every single day of my life. I talk to him. There are things that I say to him. There are times he tell me, Jackie, shut up. Because I talk to him like he's a regular person. Daddy, you didn't just do that to me. You didn't just tell me to do that. Oh, no, Daddy, I ain't going to do that now. Oh, I'm going to get a whooping about it. There are things when you have that personal relationship with God, he'll bring you out. He'll tell you who to contact. He'll tell you when to call him and the good time to call him. Because at that time, he already done woke you up and said, hey, you're going to get a call from somebody. Or, hey, wake up and that person going to call you. He tells you how to move forward. He tells you what to do. A lot of people don't listen and we don't hear all the time because I don't hear and I don't listen all the time. But when my daddy tell me to do something, I'm going to move forward quickly because I know he got the answer on the other side because he done already put it in force. Hey, call her right now. I never will forget you said, Miss Jackie, who are you with God that you done woke me up this time of morning? That's who I am. My father loves me. I love him. He said to me that this young man shall be brought to justice for what he has done to my child. See, what he don't understand is I'm a touch not. I'm a touch not with my daddy. You don't mess with me. I'm his daughter. I will stand strong. I will move forward. I shall get justice for Carlether Foley because my daddy already put it in place. And nobody will be able to stop that. My daddy said there will be justice for my child. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She was in her own bed sleep. She has a right to say no. She had a right to continue to be here. I said to anybody, when you don't know, you better know. I'm going to delete through it a little bit. I was on my way home from work. I had been crying so much upstairs in one of the rooms by myself, just crying and weeping. I was going to go home. I continued to go down the street. Jesus said clearly, get up on the toll road. I said, Daddy, you know I don't go on the toll road home. He said, I said, get up on the toll road. I got up on the toll road. As I began to drive, when I got to Veterans Memorial, the name of the street in Houston, Texas, he told me to look up. I looked up. That was my daughter. She had a bun on the top of her head with wings on her back. I started screaming, Jesus, 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 that's my baby, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Miss ESSIE, see, God send people that you don't even know and think that he gonna send. The funeral director come knocking at my door. He called me Mama. His name is Adrian Lane. He said, Mama, God sent me here to have a talk with you about something. I said, come on in, baby. He come in. He said, God told me that you got something to tell me. And if you don't tell me, then I tell you. I said, well, Adrian, I was going down from work. I've been crying all day and I got to Veterans Memorial and God told me to look up. I looked up and that was Carlether. She had wings on her back with a bun on her head, Adrian. And I just went to screaming, Adrian, my baby's with God. My baby's with God, Adrian, my baby's with God. He said, Mama, that's what I come to talk to you about. Mama, Carlether had a bun on her head when I picked her up. I never told nobody that. Now you tell me who my God is. You will never be able to differentiate me from who my Father is. He loves me. We still stand strong. We shall move forward for Carlether. We shall get justice. My child shall get justice. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm not here to put anybody down. But what I am here to do is be a mother. And one thing I know, for every one of you mothers that have lost your children, you stand strong and fight for your babies because they are yours. They was yours, God's first, then yours. You stand strong for your child because I'm going to stand strong for mine. And if you need me to come and help you stand strong for yours, baby, you call me. Because I'm going to stand strong for Carlether Foley, baby, because that was my child. Stand up for your baby. Stand up. Nobody has a right to take our babies away from us. Do you think you are to do something against the Father's word? As he said, my baby wasn't supposed to be there, but she's there with him. And I thank him for accepting her into his kingdom. But now the mother that's here on earth, I'm standing strong for her. And you better understand, Maxwell, I'm coming for you.
We coming for you,
all
Maxwell.
You other people that have lost your children. Huh? You call me. I'm going to come help you. I'm going to show you how to stand for your child. Because I'm standing for mine. And ain't nobody going to stop me. You're not going to shut me up until I'm dead and gone.
Amen.
But I will get justice for Carlether. You shall go to jail where you belong before you do this to another child. Life has not been the same. My mother, she realized she was at my daughter's funeral. She never recovered after that. She went bedridden. She had a heart attack, went bedridden. We buried her. She died May the 2nd. All my daughter kept asking me was, why is it taking God so long to take me? She wanted to go see about her granddaughter. If you don't know where I'm at, I'm telling you where I'm at. I'm a fighter. I always have been. And I shall stand strong. And I will move forward. Maxwell, you going to jail.
Yes, you are, Maxwell. Yes, you are,
You're
Maxwell.
going to jail. Yes, regardless of who you're some kin to. Because guess what? I'm some kin to God. I'm a covenant child. I'm a covenant partner. And when I speak to him and he tell me what's going to go on and what's going to move on, that's what's going to happen. And ain't nobody going to be able to stop it. You mess with the wrong person's child. Carlether Foley belonged to Jacqueline Foley and the Foley family.
I mean, I saw somebody say on here that they needed this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I still say everything happens for a reason, a purpose, a time, because sometimes we get so embottled with so many different cases. You can't imagine the case that come across me in Geneva. But to me, when it went to Geneva and we talked about it, then she found me on the phone. And she said, I didn't mean to wake you up. Yes, they did. It was 8 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. And the good part about it is I didn't wake up with an attitude. I got up. I wanted to hear what she had to say.
Yes, you did.
I'll call you back, but there was something in the spirit that was a little different. And a lot of times when you meet people, it's about a relationship. Half of the people that I know in any kind of way, it's not about money. It's about the relationship that I build with God has told me to do, because I follow my spirit. I don't follow what people say. I have to follow something in my spirit. Like today, like even my channel, you guys, you know, it got snatched. I said that. It didn't have many views. But then I still had a couple thousand, whatever. But then I say, yo, Geneva, I think this need to go further. Let me open up your platform too. So my girl said, go ahead and do that. I might can't be there, ESSIE, but go ahead. And her people are hearing this too. I feel like this story was supposed to be told at this time and at this purpose, at this moment. God knew everything that was going to happen before we came out each other's womb, our mother's womb. So yes, I'm going to help Miss Jackie Fight. Let me tell y'all something. If someone brings me a case and I ain't on it, I think they brought it to me, that means you didn't follow up and do what I asked you to do. Or we didn't get together the way we supposed to, because I can't fight harder for your case than you can fight for it. But this case has lingered in my spirit. I had a dance contest. I didn't want to do the dance contest, Foley, because I was still trying to think about making sure I got to your story
Yes.
before now. And to know, and I do want to be able to go live when you're there, because if ain't nobody got nothing to hide, what you say behind closed doors right now, you can say on this mic in front of all our subscribers.
That
and
is
all
correct.
the people
That is
listen.
true.
What I do know is if I hadn't got on this mic, you may have not even known me years ago, even though, whatever, because I was a civil rights activist before I became
Yes. Yes.
I was a civil rights activist before I started dragging Steve Harvey across the internet. I was a civil rights activist because I had to fight for what I believe in. And I knew at that time that I had to fight for my people, because some people would get paid off. That's what it looked like right now. You can't pay me off to know that I can stand for something greater. Carlether's name will be said for the rest of the life. And yes, I'm going to send it to Black Lives Matter. Yes, I'm going to send it to NAACP. And yes, before the 25th, I'm going to make as much noise as I can about this woman's death, because it should not have gone untouched. You can't finna tell me you're going to make a new law, because you're going to have to tell me the penal code, when you made it, how you made it, what day you made it, what time you made it, why you made it, who changed it, and it better be governed by Georgia, because if it's governed by a county, it's not going to stay like you're going to stay. I go for cases. I look for cases where the dirty stuff is, because this to me is all dirty. And at this time, this woman has went through so much, you guys. We have to put this story out here. We have to let Carlether's name be risen to the top. We have to do justice for her. I don't care. Everybody who's on this mic today, if y'all say y'all love ESSIE Berry and y'all love Miss Geneva, and you say you want justice for this woman and her daughter, Miss Jackie's daughter, then y'all share this video. I don't care if you share it with a website. I don't care if you share it with the news. I don't care where you share it with another blogger. Get this woman's story out before the 25th, because we're going to be back on this mic to see whatever's going to go on, or whatever day Miss Patsy feel like she wants to talk. And because if she do something and she don't want to talk to you with me on the line, then I know it's going to be some shady things going on. Okay, so I just put that out there. Go ahead.
I would like to say, Miss ESSIE, we have a GoFundMe. Let me tell you why we put up a GoFundMe. We put up a GoFundMe for Carlether to get a lawyer, because it seems like everything is about money. I don't feel like everything should be about money. If a family is in distraught and they really need help because they feel like they're not being justified or justice is not coming toward them, if you are a lawyer out there, I am asking y'all to please stop making it always be about money, because everybody don't have it and people need help. I also want to say that the mayor, Sylvester Turner, made my daughter May the 11th, Carlether Foley's Day in Houston, Texas. And we thank God for that. My young cousin Tamanisha, she's a go-getter like me. She never told me what she was doing. I was on my way home and she said, "Hey, Amy, what you doing?" I said, "Nothing, baby, I'm on my way home." She said, "I got some good news for you." I said, "Well, oh, Tam, what kind of good news you got for me?" Because oh my God, I need it. She said, "Well, what you doing?" I said, "I'm driving." She said, "Well, I got Sylvester Turner, the mayor of Houston, to do a proclamation for Carlether May the 11th in Houston, Texas, because Carlether used to always say, 'Y'all gonna know my name. Y'all gonna know my name.'" And when Miss Essie, I pulled over to the side and I just went running down the street. She has always said, "Y'all gonna know my name. You gonna know who Carlether Foley is." Say her name, Carlether Foley. Justice for Carlether. Justice for Carlether Foley.
Yes.
My baby. Thank you so much for having me on this show. Thank God for being God, that He told me what to do.
Amen.
Because only with Him, He know how many nights I've been crying out to Him for justice for Carlether. I will do what He told me, which is to stand strong and move forward. That is why every time I sign anything now, I sign my name. And I said, stand strong, move forward.
Stand strong, move forward.
I know it takes people a while to get up after something has happened to one of their family members. Because it took me a while, because I was on my way out of here. Because what I thought about was, my daughter don't know what to do there. So I got to go there and help her. I stopped eating. Until I went to church, and that apostle that I told you about, Apostle Esther, said to me, God said, what you doing, it's not going to work. Because if you come there, you're not going to see Carlether. And you need to leave and go get you something to eat. And I started eating little by little. And he started working on me again with this stand strong, move forward. And that's what I've been doing ever since. I just want to make sure everybody understands. I will not stop until I get justice for my child. Mothers, move forward. Stand strong. Get justice for your children.
I had someone ask Miss Foley that I guess y'all had some t-shirts for sale. Are they still for sale?
Yes. If there's a website, Tamanisha would have to put that up because I'm not. So many things has been going on, like losing Mama in May, and now Tamanisha is basically Tamanisha and Alicia, and of course it's on the Philly Field show also. There's a link there, and I'm just being honest with you, I don't know what it is.
That's fine. They call when we get off. You can call them and tell them put it at the bottom of this video. So what we'll get them to put the link at the bottom of the video and say it's t-shirts because that will help funding to whatever Miss Foley has to do. I have to say, you guys, this is one of the most touching, heartwarming, emotional interviews. And I don't feel like it was an interview. It was to me like that could have been my niece. That could have been my baby. Like this is my first time physically looking at this woman. Besides seeing, I guess, the family pictures or whatever, this was my first time seeing her actually on camera. I want to ask you before we go to, who has your grandson right now? Do you have your grandson?
My grandson stays with me.
Okay, so you have him.
He is with me. He is with me, and we're going through those stages of you can't do this and you can't do that because I'm still Mimi.
Yes.
Okay. So whatever I did with your mama, that's the same thing going on with you. I said no.
How many children do you have? You had one daughter. Do you have any sons?
One daughter and one son and one grandson.
Wow. Okay, so your son don't have any children right now.
My son told me years ago that he would have no kids. In fact, there was enough for us because of how much we spent.
Yeah. Before we go, I'm not sure. I mean, later on, you can look at the comments. If anybody want to address anything, I didn't want this to be an interview because it was more personal to me than just an interview. I want you guys to know that I really don't do interviews. I try to get personal with that person because I want to feel what they feel. I might seem like a shark, but I'm a little punk at sometimes. I'm a crybaby at sometimes. It may not feel like that. And for some reason, her spirit resonated with me, you guys. And we're going to get justice for Miss Jacqueline, and we're going to get justice for Carlether. Because if we don't, this same situation will happen again, and someone will brush it up under the rug. If it's not with Maxwell, then it could be someone else. Don't let your get into the place that you think you can walk around and do what you want to do, and it's okay, because it's not okay. And you can't just tell me anything and I'm going to believe it. One other question. Did you know that I was going to call you?
I didn't say, I'm sorry.
Did you know I was going to call you?
Yes.
You knew that?
Yes. My God does not lie to me. Okay. I will continue to stand strong on the word of God. And when he tells me something, he never lies to me. He tell me he gonna do something, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yes, ma'am. And your niece,
he told me that morning, no, don't email her. You need to talk to her. Yes.
Hey, y'all, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that this whole case has, the morning since she talked to me, it has lingered, and I want her to know too that ESSIE bears a person of her word, because sometimes when I call people, they don't believe it's me on the phone till I say something smart, and they be like, okay, that's her, you know. So I want to let you know my people matter to me. What happens to you matter to me. Whatever goes on in life, it matters to me. So I feel like now, no matter what, me and Janique will always be connected to her some kind of way. I hate that my girl can't be here today, but she had a function tonight that she's putting together, but her platform is just as good, and I see her in the background, so it's still like she's here. I want to let you know too, Foley, I'm with you on the 25th. I'm
Thank
with
you
you
so much.
and meet anybody. You just let them know who I am, and we'll go through that later, so I can stand firm with you and I can stand strong with you, because I do believe in dreams. I do believe that God send people for certain reasons, and it's not just by chance that we've connected like this. And one other thing I want to ask you, you said you are 4 guard arms. You said what did you say about
a level 4 officer. I worked in the prison for 8 years. That's why when people say crazy things to me about you sitting up telling me about a gun, I knew about a gun. I worked in the prison for 8 years around a whole lot of hardened criminals. Okay, I had to go to gun training every year. So how you gonna tell me something about you didn't know to empty that chamber before you clean that gun? Who you think you're talking to?
That part.
Who you think you're talking to?
And laws don't change, you guys. That law that she's talking about, that goes when you train. That's for every officer. It just ain't one state. Certain things go govern about all United States. So that's why she questioned that, because she's an officer herself. And then no wonder you guys saw that value. What you gonna do? Because you done been there before. Some of the hardest criminals that there are. So this is nothing to her right now. We better put brother man in jail. Point blank. Period. Simple. He got to do some time.
Right.
Crime. Even if he was on
Used
probation.
to tell him all the time, Miss Essie. Used to tell him all the time, go sit down and do your time.
Yeah.
Hard criminals. 8 years at Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Don't tell me nothing about cleaning no gun. You can't pull that over on me. And I had to let them know that. You cannot pull that on me. That's not going to work for me. What you're telling me, it's not going to work.
So is the meeting on the 25th with Miss Passy or the 22nd? When is the actual meeting?
September. We will be there September the 22nd to have a meeting with her. We will leave on the 21st and we will be there on the 22nd to have a meeting with her.
And what time is that meeting?
12.
Y'all, if we could possibly be there, I'm going to be there regardless. She may not want to film, but it doesn't really matter. As long as she has some type of representation there. I've been on many phone calls and I heard if somebody's getting violated or not. So if this lady do anything strange but that, I know she's going to be behind some other stuff. And I'll still, because that's her choice. She can get a bum off the street if she wants them to hear that, to make sure that her rights are not being violated. Because really at this point, this county has violated her rights. And even with her son, the whole thing, that apartment complex, and really, you can sue all of them and then some. But let's see what
Miss Essie, I just want to bring this to a point, because I had to kind of bring this up with them, and then I'm going to have to go, because the position I'm in.
Right.
My grandson was at school and received a call, and senior, 17 years old. These people had my phone number, had my son's phone number. Called my 17-year-old grandson to tell him that this man was standing before the judge. He had to tell his teacher what happened, and she allowed him to run out to go call his uncle. His uncle called Tiffany, Ebony, and they started calling around trying to get on the live to see this young man. You also questioned my grandson without an adult being there before he called me. There were a lot of things that they did that they had no business doing. They apologized. They felt like I just should be okay with it. To me, it's just something about, I don't care, she'll let it go. It'll be over. Don't worry about it. Okay. For the last time, I would like to say this one more time. My name is Jacqueline Foley. I am Carlether Foley's mother. I shall stand strong. I shall move forward. I shall get justice for Carlether. You don't know who you messing with. Covenant child of the Most High.
Period. And with that, you guys, we're going to close this interview. We're going to close this discussion about her truth. This is to tell the truth. That tell her truth about what happened to her daughter. I really want you guys to share this video to many people as you can to get the word out before the 22nd, and then maybe we can find something different to go on. I'm going to do as much as I can. I'm going to put out more videos. I don't care if it's a song to her face or whatever. Again, I thank you for your your endeavors. I thank you for
Thank
your
you.
courage. I thank you for standing for justice. And give me your slogan one more time. Put them t-shirts down there. I go buy one.
Stand
Everybody
strong, move forward.
stand strong, move
God
forward.
told me to stand strong, move forward.
Stand
Justice
strong.
for Carlether Foley.
Period. Stand strong, move forward. Justice for Carlether Foley. If your niece can get that put down there, so we can at least start getting some to try to support this whole thing. And then I just think we're gonna have a positive on the 22nd. Hopefully it'll be all positive, and hopefully we'll be able to tune in so we'll know what's going on. I promise you guys that I'll come back. I told you Sunday that we will be back with this. We're here today. God bless you, Miss Foley. You stand strong.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Give your grandbaby a big old hug for me. Y'all don't call me Sis Fucking. Just joking. Anytime you need me, you can call me. I am here for you. Anything I can do to stand forward with you and move this forward, I'm going to do that. You have my word on that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you. Remember to stand strong, move forward. All
right. Give your grandson a kiss for us. God bless you guys. And if you didn't see it, rewind it from the beginning. If you came in late, send it to your friends, family, everybody. Stand strong and move forward. God bless you guys.
Hey.